Mr. Nilsson has confessed to killing 15 men, mostly homeless and vulnerable, over a period of 5 years. We're now in the process of confirming that number. We're also aware that there are up to 7 attempted murders. So we ask anybody who may have visited 195 Melrose Avenue from December 1978 to 1981, or 23 Cranley Gardens from 1981 to February this year, to please call Hornsey Police Station on the number behind me. If you know of anybody that's gone missing, sons, brothers, fathers, uncles, nephews, cousins, friends, please contact us, because we need your help.
Okay, questions, please. Yes, Tim.
How many of the victims have you identified so far?
Well, other than Stephen Sinclair, we won't be naming any more of the victims until official charges have been brought against Mr. Nilsson.
Charlotte.
How likely is it that you'll identify all 15 of his victims?
Well, we're still in the process of assessing and analysing the evidence.
So, you're still serving?
Yes, I understand. We're absolutely certain you killed all your men.
His father recognised the knives on the television, gave them to him as a gift for starting chef school. But according to him, his son never turned up on the first day of class, and he hasn't seen him since May 1980, which would match Nilsson's dates for his third victim.
Next step.
Well, Nilsson's requested a visit, so I'll take the photo with me and get him to confirm.
Requested a visit.
Yeah. I'm hoping he's remembered some more names.
How are you coping?
Oh, good. We're trying to get through the 8,000 missing persons report. No, I'm good, thanks. We need more manpower, but you know that.
I'm still trying. What's going on with John the Guardsman?
Haley's checking all the guardsmen called John.
He's been on that for a few weeks.
And there's 256 of them. Gonna take some time, but he'll find him. Speaking of which, we think we might have another lead. Lodge found 3 dental plates in the dig at Melrose. One of them is only made in Germany, so he thinks if he can go over there...
To Germany?
He can narrow it down and probably come up with another name. God, look, I know it's a long shot, but if we get another name, it's got to be worth it, right?
There's talk from the Yard. As far as they're concerned, they already have him on 3 counts of murder.
We told the press last week we think it's 15.
Why do you think we're still active? I'm just warning you. We need to start closing the leads we already have, not opening new ones, especially in different countries. They're nervous about how much this is costing already.
Oh, so this is about money?
Everything is always about money, Peter. You've just got to be smart.
No wonder that half of Category A is on hunger strike. Might well join them just to break the monotony.
No.
Oh, let me tell you. It's perfectly feasible to be on normal rations in here and still effectively remain on hunger strike. I don't even know why I'm Category A in the first place. I'm hardly going to escape, commit suicide.
Yes.
The help I'm giving the police should be rewarded, not punished.
Let me see what we can do.
You said that before.
Martin Duffy. Is he one of them?
Yeah, of course. Martin. Yeah, he was number 3. One I told you about that I met at Euston Station. Any more?
Hopefully soon. You said that you had some more information for me, or was that just so you could talk about your living situation?
No, I'd never do that. Any news about Bleep? Just I've heard nothing about it since I got in here.
I'll call the dogs home. See what I can find out.
I actually have another name for you. Yeah, one of the young men at Melrose Avenue. I just woke up, his name was just there. Kenneth Ockenden.
Ockenden? You're 100% sure? Kenneth Ockenden?
Yeah. The Canadian lad was all over the news when he went missing.
Wait, did you hold his name back from us?
No, why would you say that? I want these people identified and laid to rest just as much as you do, Mr. J. Yeah, I'm just only trying to tell the truth.
But he can't have.
Why not?
Because Ockenden was investigated for 3 years. Right? They found nothing. What are you thinking?
Well, we're going to request the files and treat it as a murder investigation. What's the problem?
I know some of the guys, Peter. Right, Ockenden was a difficult case for them. And the press weren't exactly kind when they couldn't find him.
Right, Steve, request the files.
Can I tell Martin Duffy's dad? I made him certain promises when he first came forward.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, boss, you might both want to hear this. Someone's just caught saying he's Nilsson's biographer.
Eh?
Yeah. He asked if we can tell him anything about the investigation or the arrest.
No, look, that's just a rag trying to get a quote. If they call back, tell them to piss off.
Gladly.
Steve, let me know when you get the files.
Kenneth Ockenden, Canadian tourist, left his hotel in King's Cross December 3rd. Was meant to meet his uncle on the 5th to collect some money for a plane home for Christmas. He was never seen again.
What? And Nilsson's only just remembered this?
Nilsson says he met him in a West End pub. They talked about his camera, they spent the day sightseeing. That night, he strangled him with a headphone cord as Ockenden listened to music in Melrose Avenue. He disposed of his body in the garden, as per, so we're currently looking for any signs of him in the dig. Now, look, we all hope that we find something at Melrose, but until we do, these files are they're our best shot. Now, look, I know you all think you might know about this case because of the media coverage, but we can't half-ass this. Nilsson is in there. Somewhere.
Have you finished? I tell you explicitly not to open any more leads, and you open Kenneth bloody Ockenden. Ockenden's mother had links to the Canadian Parliament. His disappearance became political. So you can imagine the Yard's reaction to you making it a murder inquiry with a serial killer as the suspect.
Nilsson says he killed him, Gov.
Of course he did. He'd say anything to stay in the papers. Ockenden doesn't fit the victim profile, Peter. He wasn't homeless or an addict. He wasn't even gay. He had a girlfriend back in Canada.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Then why did he go home with him? What evidence have you found? You want us to tell his family that a boy the police couldn't find for 3 years was actually killed by a former copper, and you don't have any physical evidence?
When's he ever lied to us before?
I've been trying to help you. Get you the money to support you need to close this case. But you went behind my back and made us look like a bunch of amateurs. You better be right about this.
The gruesome search continues at 195 Melrose Avenue for what police now believe are dismembered remains that have been buried in the garden for 3 years or more.
All day, detectives and forensic science experts have been taking the bones for examination in a laboratory.
We found a small piece of jaw and some teeth attached to it in the rear garden, and this morning I found a significant amount of human bones.
What we brought in, a big percentage of them turned out to be animal bones. But of those that are definitely human, we estimate we have between 8 and 20 different victims.
Are any of them from Ockenden?
No. But a lot of them we couldn't analyze due to fire damage.
Did we manage to identify anyone from them?
Yeah, I'm afraid not.
There must be some more tests we can do.
I know it's not the news we hoped for, but it was always going to be a long shot considering the amount of time passed and the astute method of disposal. I'd say we were fortunate to get Martin Duffy.
But you said there could be as many as 20.
Well, as I say, it's an estimate, but it's certainly a possibility. I'll give you gentlemen a minute.
Thank you.
We need to retest the headphones found at Cranley Gardens.
No, Peter. All Ockenden is doing is sending us up a bunch of blind alleys. We may need to move on from him. You heard what he said. Possibly 20 victims. Which means Nilsson may have been lying to us from the very start. I'll call it in.
Made something for you. It's all jumbled in no special order, but I figured you're the artist. Only you know what's important, how to select it, so.
What made you draw these?
Nostalgia, I suppose.
I thought you told the police that you didn't remember your victims.
No, their names, no, but it doesn't mean I don't remember our time together. I took him up on, I think, maybe 4 occasions, the following 2 weeks.
And what did you do when you brought him up?
Well, his naked body fascinated me. So I'd roll him onto his stomach, roll him onto his back, touching him, stroking him. I was thrilled that I had full control, ownership over this beautiful body.
So control was the motivation.
Nothing's ever about one thing, Brian. Sometimes I'd put them in the other armchair next to mine while I'd watch an evening's television. I'd look over and imagine what we'd be talking about if he could speak. And then other times, you know, I couldn't actually believe this was happening and this was my life, but death gives no refunds. So. We spend so much time talking about me, I feel like I hardly know anything about you. I don't even know if you're married.
No. But I do have my emotional attachments. Okay, maybe a more simpler question. Do you remember when you first became aware of death?
I grew up in a fishing village, Brian, so death surrounds you when the sea's involved. Not in the poverty. I saw my grandfather's corpse when I was 6-year-old.
How did he die?
At sea. He was a fisherman. And they brought his coffin back to the house. It was normal back then. And my mother woke me up and said, "You want to see your granddad?" I went in the living room and he was there in a box.
How did they explain that?
Well, I didn't.
You didn't know that he was dead?
No, he just said he was sleeping. After he left, the mystery of death, it always fascinated me. Sometimes I'd put talc on my face, paint my lips blue, and poke my eyes till they were bloodshot, and just look in the mirror.
To make yourself seem dead?
Aye.
And was this by yourself, or with somebody else there?
Both.
What would you do then?
Sit and stare. Imagining the abyss as I touched them, and myself in my own dead image.
So this is about sex?
No, you keep looking for these simple answers, but you debase it to make it purely about that.
Well, I'm not trying to simplify anything, but you did have sex with these young men after they had died.
No, I did not. Did I enjoy them? Yes. Did I gain some satisfaction from looking at their naked bodies next to mine in the mirror? I didn't penetrate them. Look, the wicked thing that I did was to squeeze the life out of a human being. That was wrong. That was unforgivable. I will be properly punished for it. What I did to a corpse is neither here nor there. Brian, if you're more disgusted by what I did to a corpse than what I did to a living man, then your moral system is upside down and needs overhauling.
Right. I didn't intend to judge you. Let's go back to your childhood. Did you have many friends at school?
I'm glad we're doing this, Brian.
Me too.
Well, nice to be listened to. Makes me feel human again. Only he's treating me like a criminal.
Well, do you not consider yourself to be a criminal?
All I consider myself is obsolete. I deserve the right to be treated as innocent until proven guilty, not have to wear the clothes of a convicted felon whilst I wait for my day in court. Surely you can see that.
We're sorry about the result of the dig. We all share your disappointment.
Thank you. It was a blow, but we have other points of inquiry we're now investigating.
There's been a development. Turns out that Nilsson's been getting regular visits from a biographer. Apparently his letter got through the prison censors and they'd been meeting for a number of weeks. Our fear here is that it's only a matter of time before the victims' identities, and especially one as well known as Ockenden, become public knowledge. Therefore, we feel we need to inform his family.
We're still looking for confirmation on Ockenden, sir.
The only reason we've been patient up until now was the hope that the dig would give us something to tie Ockenden to Melrose. But it's been a month.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but if we had more men and the word processor I've requested again and again...
Peter, there is nothing I would like more than to find Ken and to bring anyone who harmed him to justice. But if we don't have any evidence
We'll
by
find
now...
the evidence.
I admire your confidence. But this investigation is beginning to harm the reputation of the Metropolitan Police. We've only just repaired the damage done by the riots.
How are we damaging its reputation?
Because people are starting to ask why this is all taking so long.
Do you know how an investigation works?
Peter, wait for me outside.
What the hell was that? Not top brass care more about their reputation than finding these men.
Oh, grow up. You're not the only one who cares about this case. Let me give you some advice, Peter. Toe the fucking line.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I don't mind holding while you find out.
What's going on?
Healy thinks he's got John.
I don't bloody jinx it, Steve. All the guardsmen were accounted for, so we were screwed, basically. It's back to square one. I went to see the West End branch, asked them if they knew any Johns from Wickham that frequented Soho. After giving me a load of grief about the Ockenden case, they threw me a name. John Howlett. Ne'er-do-well, in and out of different homes as a kid, well known on the streets of Soho. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
But now we're just checking the blood type from the remains in Cranley.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we deserve a bit of luck, don't you? But yes. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. We got a match.
Great work, Chris.
Why do you think Nelson said he was a guardsman?
I've got no idea.
Right, first round's on me. You coming?
I'll be there in a bit. Just got to finish up here first.
Thought you were all down the pub. You, looking for anything in particular?
Kenneth Ockenden.
Oh, well, you're not going to find him in there. That's the Cranley Gardens look.
Did we fingerprint the camera?
We did.
What about the books we found?
Yeah, all the covers.
But not the pages?
How'd you touch the pages, not the covers?
There's just a few books that might give us something. The photography book, the London Guide, things like that. The A to Z?
Gov, is this a good use of time? I'll see what I can do. Can he harm us?
I don't see how.
What do you think they'd talk about?
I don't even want to know.
Keep her there. Gov, woman at the front desk thinks her ex-partner might be a possible victim.
Cheers, Griff.
Yeah, he's on his way down. Great.
He went missing about a year ago. Last time I saw him, he came round to the house. We'd been separated a few months. Said he wanted to spend more time with Shane. But I knew he was just there for the money, so he'd go down to Soho and score. We had an argument that day and he left. And I haven't seen him since. A week after that, he had a court date, which he missed. And he always attended court no matter what. So I went down to Job Centre. They told me he hadn't signed on, so then I rang his solicitor. And they told me to wait a while and that he'd show up. But I knew. And then I saw you on the news, and even though I know Graham wasn't bent, just something kept turning in my gut.
Not all of his victims were gay. Some just needed a bed or some food. Do you have a photo?
Yeah.
So he had a criminal record?
Of course. Almost wore it as a badge of honour, you know, him against the system. I just need to know what happened. I know he's been a bit of a shit, but he's Shane's dad.
DCI Peter J to see Dennis Nilsson. I need you to identify some photos.
How's Bleak?
Well, you made it pretty busy for me the last time I was here, Des. I haven't had a chance to find out about your dog. Graham Allen and John Howlett, a.k.a. John the Guardsman. Although he wasn't a guardsman, was he? He was just another young man finding his way on the streets of Soho.
I am sick of helping people who take advantage of my good nature. I think I'm deserving of some more balance.
What, like with your biographer? Did you kill these men? How many people did you kill in Melrose Avenue? Did you kill Kenneth Ockenden?
If I hadn't wanted you to, you wouldn't have found me. So why would I lie to you now?
Look at the photos.
I've been convicted of no crimes as of yet, therefore I am innocent until proven guilty.
Where is this coming from?
In category A, like some kind of dangerous criminal.
Look
what am I
at
gonna
the
do?
photos
I'm gonna
and tell me if
escape,
you've killed these
intimidate
men.
a witness.
Des!
I'm your only witness.
This man has a 7-year-old son. Do the right thing and look at the fucking photos. Did you kill this man?
No comment.
Detective Chief Inspector Peter J.
Brian Masters.
Drink?
No, thank you.
You found it all right then?
Oh, yes, no trouble at all.
Good. So, how long have you been writing?
About 15 years. You? I mean, how long have you been a policeman?
Nearly 23 years. How many books have you written about people like Nilsson?
Well, this is my first.
Then, Let me give you some advice. Walk away.
Well, with all due respect, Mr. J, I didn't approach this naively.
Well, why approach it at all? I mean, you think you can understand these things he did?
I'm not sure that understanding is useful here. The term is emotional, and more often than not, it leads to answers that are indicative of our own prejudices. It's not about understanding, it's about comprehending.
Isn't that the same thing?
Humans kill. It's in our nature, out of fits of rage or jealousy or self-defense. But to kill so many men without any real reason, I think it's important that we try to comprehend why this happened and how this person came to pass.
I need you to tell us everything that Nilsson's told you about the identities of his victims.
Well, I don't have any more information than you already have.
Well, you've been talking for months.
We talk about other things.
Such as?
Well, his childhood, his time in the army.
Oh, was he killing in the army?
No.
How often have you been visiting him?
Once, twice a week.
When's the last time you saw him?
4 days ago.
And he wrote to you?
No, I wrote to him. I'm not really sure why we're here.
Nilsson is no longer helping us with our investigation.
Since when?
What, he didn't tell you? Has he ever mentioned Kenneth Ockenden?
Did he kill Kenneth Ockenden?
I didn't say that. If he mentions any names, you have a duty to report them to us.
No, it's not as simple as that.
Reversing the course of justice is very simple.
If you're suggesting that I had anything to do with retracting his cooperation, then you are gravely mistaken, Mr. J. And if you wish to take this conversation any further, then maybe I should telephone my solicitor.
If you wanted to write a book about Nilsson, you should have come to us first. We'd have given you the real story. But you're also fucking fascinated by him, aren't you? Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ever since I've come to this hell on earth, I have been disrespected, abused, humiliated. I have done nothing but help an investigation for which I've not yet been convicted. Nobody cares about my years of public service. My work with the unions, that goes unnoticed.
Why didn't you mention Kenneth Ockenden?
You've spoken to Mr. J, I see.
Yes, he contacted me.
Yeah. I didn't mention Ken because he's the one I regret. The day we spent together was so happy. I was the happiest I'd been all year. Unlike the others, his death was a kind of cruel and horrid parody of what could have been.
Well, do you not feel any guilt or remorse?
Why? They live with me in my cell, Brian. All of them. How do I feel remorse when I've taken those pains into myself?
Oh, that's obscene.
Look, I'd give anything for any one of them to walk in here right now and shoot me dead. But the sad fact is they had to die to get attention for their plights because the public pious aftercare comes too late. And when this is all over, the Des Nilssons and the Stephen Sinclairs and the Martin Duffys of this world will still stagger along unnoticed and alone because society is more interested in death than it is in life.
But these people that you mentioned, they weren't Kenneth Ockenden. You say so yourself. So what was it that made you kill Kenneth Ockenden?
It was... They were all my type.
Simple as that.
I once strangled and drowned a young man, and then when he was lying on the bed, I noticed bleep licking his face. were still alive. So I resuscitated him. And he was very confused when he came to. He didn't know what had happened. And he was there for days, me taking care of him. And then, when he was well enough to leave, I took him up to the Highgate station and we arranged to meet again the week after. Well, the week after came and went, he never came back. Perhaps he should have stayed in my flat.
The thought of them leaving triggered the impulse.
Everybody leaves. Friends, colleagues, boyfriends, they all disappear eventually. My grandfather, my great hero and protector, was the only person that I ever loved. Seeing my grandfather in that box, all my troubles started there. See, it blighted my personality permanently. That's why I did all these things. That and the booze and the music whipped me up in a sort of frenzied fantasy that brought the devil in the darkness. But without that, I'm harmless.
No, Des, no. It is not your place to make objective reasons why you did these things, especially with this spurious logic.
Whose place isn't it? Is it yours?
No, this book cannot be a subjective look at your life and your actions. We both of us, we must remain objective. And if there are any lessons to be learned, it is up to the reader to decide, not us. All these ruminations and hypotheses may be very helpful to you, but it can't be the end of the road. That's not what I'm here for.
Brian, will you do me a kindness? I need to find out about my dog. Will you do that for me?
Yes, I'll see what I can do.
Peter, gotta come see this.
Right, Gov. We've got a partial print off the A to Z, which ain't Nilsson's. Looks like Ockendon's. You sure? Hell of a hunch, Gov.
Thank you.
Peter, this is Commander Lockwood. You know Russell.
Good to meet you, sir.
Peter, I'd like to congratulate you. Although we were all understandably skeptical at first, Ockenden is a huge weight off this force.
Thank you, sir. Wasn't the easiest one for us, but it shows we're getting through it.
Well, obviously these things can't last forever. And upstairs feel that confirming Ockenden is a natural place to wrap things up. Therefore, a decision has been made. We're going to charge him with 6 murders and bring the investigation to a close.
Sir, if I may, I think this is a mistake. We have leads which I'm sure will bring us more names. A woman called Leslie Mead has come forward. We suspect her ex-partner might be a victim.
Detective, we've spent a fortune on your team's overtime alone.
6 murders. He never gets out.
Charging him with 6 is a joke.
Peter,
No, but Gov.
the decision has been made.
Please, sir, if I may. There are at least 9 families who will never get closure if we stop now. We just need more time and we'll find all 15, I'm sure of it.
But we're not even sure he killed 15, are we? And now that he's stopped talking to us, perhaps we'll never know. No. It's time for you and your team to move on, Peter. I'm sure your families will be very happy to see you.
Can I have everybody's attention? Scotland Yard have just given the orders to shut us down and to charge him with the 6 we've got. I can't tell you how proud I am of this team and of the work that we've done together over the past 4 months. 6 we found. Well, that's the kind of police work you can't just do from behind a desk. You're a credit to yourselves and each other. Thank you.
Nilsen, a 37-year-old civil servant, was arrested and charged after human remains were discovered at 2 properties in North London. He has now been committed to trial for 6 charges of murder and 2 attempted murders. The former police officer is due to appear in court later this week, where he is expected to plead guilty on all charges.
Peter.
Steve.
No, get you anything.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
I'll leave you to me.
Thanks, love.
How have you been?
Yeah, not bad. What do you got?
It's about the Nilsen case. Of the remains found in Cranley Gardens, one of the jaw bones had scars on both sides of the jaw due to a fracture.
Take a seat, mate.
Graham Allen had his jaw broke in a fight. It's in his record.
What? That doesn't necessarily mean it's Alan.
So Bowen goes to Alan's odontologist. Finds a denture that he had made but never picked up to fit the jaw. Graham Allen is the 3rd victim of Cranley Gardens.
When he came round to the house that day, the last thing that I said to him was, I hope that you never come back.
He'd have known you didn't mean that.
Would you? Would he have felt any pain?
I don't think so. Leslie, you know we've already charged Nilsen. That indictment's already been written up and processed.
What are you saying?
We can't add Graham's name to the list of Nilsen's victims.
But you just said that he killed him.
He did. But the court has a time limit to add names. And that passed a few days ago.
So Graham doesn't get any justice.
I'm afraid not. Gov called me when I was on leave. Said that our squad was being seriously considered for a commendation. I think he thought it would make me feel better, but all it did was make me more angry. You got 2 kids, right? Sorry, Steve, I should know that.
4. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Linda wants another. Well, I mean, our first, another for me.
You not so much?
Well, I'd like to. I've already fucked it up 4 times.
This job does that. How are the boys?
I haven't seen them for a while.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Peter.
We should have stopped him, Steve.
We caught him first chance we could.
We should have known.
No, sometimes it's just not possible. I mean, he had a normal life, a normal job. You going to the committal hearing?
Yeah. Yeah?
Aye. Yeah, I can't wait for it all to be over.
Do you know that he was the one that wrote the letters about the blocked drains? Told his landlord he wouldn't pay rent until they were cleaned. I mean, this whole thing has always been to Nelson's script.
Brian?
Hello.
A dog's home called for you. They said further to your inquiry, Nilsson's dog has been put down.
He asked me to find out about his dog. That's all. I need to get him to trust me. Otherwise, all this is for nothing.
So what, now you're doing errands for him?
Oh, come on. Someone who knows our world, our community, needs to write this. Otherwise, they'll get it wrong. I mean, they'll fuck it up. They already are. Please try and understand.
Just make sure it's not him who's writing it.
Inspector, having spent so much time with Nilsson, can you tell us, what is he really like?
Unremarkable.
What makes you say that?
It's a 6 positive ID detection. How does that make you feel?
Surprised, Brian? Hello there, Des. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I've a dead hood lesson.
Des, Bleep was put down by the Dachshund. She became ill not soon after you'd been arrested, and they thought that it would be kinder that way.
She forgave me everything and never let me down. And in the moment of her greatest crisis, I wasn't there for her. How's the book progressing?
It's coming along very well, thank you. I'm currently writing about your experiences in Aden.
Another place the British Army should never have been. And when they came to get me, I thought you were my solicitor.
Solicitor, I thought you dispensed with your legal aid.
Change is the only constant in life. Who said that?
Heraclitus.
Yeah. Yeah, a solicitor. This one has a tax-deductible heart, but needs must, you know.
Right, I'll see you up there.
I do want to thank you, Brian.
For what?
Your company.
All right.
Dennis Andrew Nilsson. On count 1 of this indictment, you are charged with the murder of Stephen Sinclair. How say you? Are you guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count 2, you are charged with the murder of Kenneth Ockenden. How say you? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count 3, you are charged with the murder of John Howlett. How say you? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.